Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, More Geckos. If you're new here, please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below, subscribe, and turn that notification bell on so you guys know when I upload new videos. And let's get today's video started. So guys, before we get today's video started, I wanted to hint and let you know that some of my leopard geckos we have in our collection do have like Super Snow Syndrome, Enigma Syndrome, and some also have MBD. Now, I do rescue a lot of geckos, so that's why they have these problems, but I just wanted to let you know before we get today's video started. And today's video is going to be all about all 18 of my leopard geckos, so I hope you enjoy, and enough with that, and let's show you some amazing geckos.
Leopard gecko is Iris, my blood het bell albino leopard gecko. She is absolutely stunning, as you guys can tell. Anything with the blood morph inside them, in my opinion, is just hands down absolutely beautiful. And here's a little bit better look at her. She is just a stunning leopard gecko with bright orange coloration and that black spotting all on her. It's just absolutely stunning. We've had Iris for around a year and a half now, and I just can't imagine a life without her. But let's move on to the next leopard gecko, and Iris, you did a great job. So guys, our next leopard gecko is Dayyan. So Dayyan was a leopard gecko I produced last year, and he is absolutely stunning. As you can tell, he's grown so much as well. He's 64 grams, so he grew quite fast. We thought originally we knew the father, but turns out we think he had a different father because his genetics are a little bit different, because it's just not adding up with the pairing that we did. And we also did pair the mother with a few other males. So we're not fully sure on who the father is at the moment. So we haven't listed his genetics, but he obviously has tangerine in him, as you can tell, and he has a lot of it. This boy is just absolutely amazing, puppy dog tame, and I'm just so grateful for him. I like how the pattern on him is kind of fading away. He used to have black bands and tons of black spots, but if you look at his head, it's starting to fade away. So we think he's going to have no pattern. He's just going to be yellow, white, and orange gecko, which would be absolutely stunning. But enough with Dayyan, and let's move on to the next leopard gecko. So guys, our next leopard gecko is Peaches. She is my blood Mandarin Tremper 50% Het Nor Desire Moon Eye. And that's a mouthful, and it took me such a long time to memorize all those genetics, but she has a lot of genetics, and she's a powerhouse with those genetics. As you can tell, the Mandarin stuff mixed with the blood stuff is absolutely beautiful. She doesn't even really have a pattern. She just really has like coloration just thrown all on her, which is absolutely beautiful. And as you can tell, she is one of my brightest geckos, and hands down one of the prettiest geckos I own. Peaches just turned a year old a few months ago. We celebrated her birthday, gave her tons of food like hornworms and all that type of stuff. And we gave it to all the geckos in the reptile room, and they all seemed to really enjoy it for her birthday. But we've had her for around a year, and so we've had her since she was a few months old, and I'm very grateful for her. And I think once she gets a couple more years older, she's going to be a great breeder, so I can't wait to pair her up to a few geckos. But yeah, here's Peaches that wants to get down really badly, but let's move on to the next leopard gecko. Peaches, you did a great job. So guys, you all know I can't do a full leopard gecko video without showing you guys my boy Mango. So here is Mango, my blood tangerine male leopard gecko. He is absolutely stunning. We've had Mango for around over a year and a half now, and truly he is absolutely stunning. And he is, oh my goodness, this gecko is my everything. I love this gecko so much, and I could not imagine a world without him. He literally, he's the only reason I think I keep going with the reptiles. And he's just extraordinary, and he's like so much different from all my other leopard geckos. And he's just my boy, and I get along with him so well. It's just like, I never thought I would get along with a reptile this much. Like, I've always loved reptiles, but like per se, like Mango, he's just a different kind of level for love. I mean, this boy is my everything. But I'm going to be honest, guys, I could go on for like 10 hours straight about Mango. So we're going to put him back in and move on to the next leopard gecko. Mango, you did a very amazing job. Good job, buddy. So guys, our next leopard gecko is a white and yellow tangerine enigma leopard gecko. Her name is Cheddar. She is absolutely amazing. The enigma morph is kind of frowned upon in the reptile community. This leopard gecko was ordered from LL Reptiles, and they were producing enigmas with tangerine in them, and I was like, that's absolutely beautiful. And I know I breed leopard geckos, but I will never breed her, even though I have another enigma male. They're never going to get paired together, but I'm just going to keep her as a pet and my male as a pet because I think the enigmas are cool looking, but they need to be stopped being like produced. I don't think they should be produced. So she's just going to make one amazing pet, and she's absolutely stunning. But if you don't know what enigma syndrome is, please check it out. There's a video on it on Jessica Animals Friends channel. I'll put links in the description as well as the comment area to her channel. She has a lot of videos on enigma syndrome and white and yellow syndrome and a lot of other defects and problems that we have in leopard geckos, but she'll be able to explain it more because like I understand it, it's just harder for me to explain to other people, so it's better to take it from someone that is better, more, I would word it like she's more equipped on like explaining the leopard gecko genetic. But nonetheless, this is a beautiful leopard gecko, and she makes one amazing pet-only leopard gecko. But let's move on to our next leopard gecko. So guys, this is our next leopard gecko, Waffles. She is a albino super snow female leopard gecko, and as you can tell, she's 70 grams, but she has a weird shaped tail. Her tail and her head is a little bit weirdly shaped, and I've seen it a lot in the albino super snows, so it's pretty common. And I think she's a beautiful gecko nonetheless. Even with that like cute deformed face, I think it's absolutely stunning. But enough with Waffles, and let's move on to the next leopard gecko. So guys, our next leopard gecko is Chase. He's my albino leucistic, and that's the same thing as Murphy's patternless leopard gecko. So he is absolutely beautiful, as you can tell. I really like his eyes. They used to be a bright red when he was a baby, and now they're like this cool, like grayish, greenish looking color. And I just really like the Murphy's patternless stuff. I just like how it's like a clean looking gecko, no like black spotting or anything. That's why I like the albino stuff, which is just a very beautiful gecko in my opinion. And I'm just very fond of the patternless stuff. Same with the blizzard stuff. But every single blizzard I've ever owned in the past has always had some type of marking or paradox spotting on them, which we'll get to later in the video. So that's why I like to go with the Murphy's patternless like Chase right here, because he's just rather a beautiful gecko. So we've had Chase for almost coming up on 2 years, and he's been one amazing boy. We got him when he was only a few days old. He was like 7 grams, and now last time I weighed him about a week ago, he was 96 grams. So as you can tell, this is a humongous gecko, and he's just a rather bigger boy, just like Saffron. No armpit bubbles like some of my other males, and I've noticed that happens when they have a lot of calcium or if they're just overweight. So that tells me that this guy is a perfect weight, and he's probably going to get a few more grams. Probably he's going to be in the hundreds. We believe he might be a giant, but we can't confirm that since we haven't got any offsprings from him yet. So until that happens, we're just going to keep him as Murphy's patternless. But yeah, here's Chase, and let's move on to the next leopard gecko. So guys, this is Paradox, my female Blazing Blizzard leopard gecko, and this is a patternless morph, which is a recessive morph. But as you can tell, she does have pattern on her. Well, not really pattern, but spot. Now this is called Paradox, like I like to call it Paradox spotting, and it's usually seen only on geckos which have like no pattern, and it's just like a random thing that happens when they get like little paradox spottings. It's not usually genetic, and it usually doesn't pass down, but it could pass down potentially. And she's getting a lot more spots, as you can tell on her tail. So I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I think it's kind of cool and unique because you don't see a lot of geckos with a lot of paradox spottings like this. Usually you see 1 or 2 spots, but this girl has like a lot of spots on her, and I just think it's really cool. But the Blazing Blizzard stuff, as well as the Blizzard stuff, the Banana Blizzard stuff, I love all the type of Blizzard stuff out there. But she does have the normal type of Blizzard attitude, which is unfortunate. But overall, she's a beautiful gecko. But let's move on to the next leopard gecko. So guys, our next leopard gecko is Saffron. So Saffron is my male I believe to be high yellow leopard gecko. We got him from Hunter from Crimson Exotics, and we got him a few months ago. And as you can tell, he's absolutely beautiful. And unfortunately, he is in shed right now, so that's why his colors are a little bit dull right now. But once he sheds out, he's going to be absolutely beautiful again. And this guy is really humongous. He's even lost grams since I got him from Hunter, but he's just a rather bigger boy. He's absolutely amazing, and we really love Saffron here. And yeah, let's move on to the next leopard gecko. So guys, this is my next leopard gecko, Banana. Banana is my male juvenile high yellow leopard gecko. We've had him for a few months now, and he's just a good boy that we like to hang with. And he does have quite a temperament, but overall, he is a pretty good boy once you get him out of the cage. But we're going to put him in because he tends to get pretty stressed, and we're going to move on to the next leopard gecko. But Banana, you did one amazing job, buddy, and I'm proud of you. So guys, this is my next leopard gecko. This is Ben. He's my super giant male leopard gecko. As you can tell, the super giant stuff is absolutely incredible, and I just really like this guy. But he is not too good on handling, so that's why I'm not holding this gecko. But he's just crushing food, doing really well, and I really like the bold type of patterning that's coming in on that tail. And then also on his head, he has a lot of bold type of pattern on him. So I just think he's a really beautiful gecko, and he has kind of a darker tone to him. But overall, I just think he's a beautiful gecko. And yeah, he's doing really well, and I'm happy to introduce you guys to Ben. But let's move on to the next leopard gecko. So guys, my next leopard gecko is our Raptor Patternless Striped Eclipse Temporal Albino, which you can just call the Raptor. It just has patternless stripe and eclipse and temporal albino mixed in there. So as you can tell, the temporal albino is really influencing this type of morph. But her name is Nachos. We've had her around the same time that we got Waffles, so around I would say 5 months or so. And she's just a really beautiful gecko, and I really like the Raptors type of stuff because I like how it has a lot of genetics, and I just really like the temporal albino type of geckos. I think they're really beautiful. But Nachos, as you can tell, is a humongous girl. She's our second biggest female, ranging I think 90 grams or so. And she's not even our biggest female, but she's a very impressive gecko. She'll literally eat anything that you put in front of her, and she'll eat outside her tank. And she's our only gecko that will eat outside her tank. So it's really nice because we'll hang with her and we'll give her treats and make her chase her food. But she's really, really amazing gecko, and I just really love her to death. But let's move on to the next leopard gecko. So guys, this is my next leopard gecko, Gollum. She's a leucistic leopard gecko, which is different from the albino leucistic. Since she doesn't have albino inside her, she wouldn't be a Murphy's patternless. She would just be a leucistic leopard gecko. So I just want to clear that up. But she was found out in the wild, and she had parasites. She had tons of problems, missing toes, stuck shed, and now she's absolutely beautiful. She put on tons and tons of weight. Now she's 64 grams when I weighed her 2 weeks ago, and she's obviously put on a lot more grams, so I'm very grateful for her, and I think she's gonna make a great pet. Even though we don't know how old she is, I have a feeling we're gonna have many years with her, and I'm so grateful for that. But let's move on to the next leopard gecko. So guys, here is my next leopard gecko, Lily. She is absolutely amazing. We've had her for about a year now, and we got her when she was literally only 3 days old. And we got her specifically because she looks different from every other leopard gecko in this type of morph range. She's a bell albino, but she just looks a little bit different from most bell albinos. So we were really interested, and we were really kind of drawn towards her, so we went and got her instead of getting other leopard geckos. So I'm very grateful for her, and she's growing really well. She's 84 grams, and she doesn't look like a big girl, but I mean if you look at her from this angle, she's a really big girl. But let's move on to the next leopard gecko. So guys, our next leopard gecko is Daredevil. He is a male Enigma bell albino leopard gecko. We got him from LL Reptiles. We were told he was Enigma with bell albino, but one thing that we noticed was that he has tons of black spots, meaning he's not bell albino. He also has bright red eyes, which is usually seen with eclipse or a recessive genome like albino, telling us that these genetics are wrong. So we're not fully sure what genetics he has, but he is very sensitive to light. So we're not fully sure what's going on with this boy, but once we have him a little bit longer, hopefully we'll figure out. And who knows, it just might be just a random thing that's happening with this particular gecko. But I'm so grateful that we have a gecko with bright red eyes, and he's a crazy gecko, as you can tell. He's constantly always on the move, but I love him to death. And let me know what you think of Daredevil down in the comment section. But let's move on to the next leopard gecko. So guys, our next leopard gecko is Max. He's a super giant male leopard gecko. We've had him for around 1.5 years now. We got him a little bit after we got Mango, and he is humongous, as you can tell. Compared to all the other geckos we had out today, he's by far the largest gecko. Last time we checked his inches, he was a little bit over, I want to say, he was a little bit over 11 inches, I remember. He was quite a bit over 11 inches, but I'll just say 11 inches because I can't quite remember. And he was also 98 grams. Imagine when this boy is like 135 grams. This boy is going to be humongous. This gecko is a very impressive and humongous gecko, and I can't wait to maybe one day get a future female supergiant leopard geckos that we can breed to him and Ben, because I think that would be incredible to produce some supergiant leopard geckos. But let's move on further into the video with our next leopard gecko. So guys, our next leopard gecko is Jinx. She is a high yellow leopard gecko, and I just like how she has a lot more bigger dots than all our other high yellow leopard geckos, and I just think it's really beautiful. Also, a fun fact about her, she was actually brighter orange than Mango when we first got her, and some reason she just turned yellow. It was the first time ever seeing a high yellow actually orange. Like, we might have a picture of it, and hopefully in the future I can find that picture and show you guys, but like, I'm not joking. Like, oh my goodness, that's the reason we got her, because we thought she was a tangerine at the time, and we were like, oh my goodness, that gecko's better than Mango. So we were looking to get more tangerines. Turns out it was just a high yellow, and she just wasn't fully grown, so her color hadn't like set in yet. So it was real disappointing, but nonetheless, as you can tell, she still kind of has like that orangish tone to her. And hopefully I can find the picture, because oh my goodness, this gecko was absolutely beautiful when she was orange. Mango had no chance standing up against her when it came to orange coloration. But this girl is nonetheless amazing, and we are still grateful that we have her nonetheless. Even though she's not a tangerine, we still love her the same, and we're happy with her. But let's move on to our final and last gecko. So guys, our last gecko for today is our beautiful gecko Skittles. Skittles is just one amazing leopard gecko. She is just a normal leopard gecko, no fancy genetics or anything. She's just a normal leopard gecko. We got her about 2.5 years ago, coming up on 3 years ago. So she's around probably already at 3 years old, because she was a few months old when we got her. She's just one amazing pet, and we actually have pictures of her when she was a baby, and we're gonna actually show you guys them after we're done showing you her, so you guys can see how much she's grown as a gecko, because she's truly gotten humongous since then. I think she was only like 14 grams, meaning she was probably only a few weeks old at the time, and now she is absolutely humongous. She is now, I believe, 84 grams last time we weighed, and as you can tell, she's food motivated, and she's just one amazing gecko, and I can't imagine a world without this beautiful girl. But Skittles, we're going to put you in, give you some food for being such a good girl, and we're going to wrap up today's video. So good job, Skittles.
So guys, sadly that is wrap for today's video, but if you did enjoy today's video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below, subscribe, and turn that notification bell on so you guys know when I upload new videos, and have one amazing day. And if you don't mind, can you please check out these 2 videos right here, and have one amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.